Good morning. It is a Monday, kind of mid-morning again. It's a little later, 11 a.m. this morning. We've got rain to talk about. We've got two systems now that we can time out. The last few weather systems, the last atmospheric river event was just sort of this nonstop, right? Drizzle, heavy rain, high snow elevations. These next two weather systems, Tuesday, essentially, and Thursday, we talked about them yesterday, are going to come through. They're going to bring colder air. They're going to drop snow levels. They're going to bring rain as far south as Southern California. So with that said, watches and warnings and things like that will pop up and pop down. Most of that, the watches, like the flood watch we'll see in the Bay Area for tonight and tomorrow, will be more about accumulative, like the fact that, okay, it rained a bunch, and now it's going to rain more. So we're going to see some standing water. We're going to see some urban and small stream flooding. Again, it's California weather. This is nothing unusual at all. And it's actually very beneficial and fortunate the way these systems have come through. It's perfect winter weather for us, except for the rain in this year. That's not. But in terms of garnering or hanging on to the water that's coming out of these systems without seeing major flooding and issues like that, it's awesome. So, and it looks like it wants to continue that way. Why? Because we're going to see breaks. We're going to see a break today, or we've seen a break today. It gets going tonight and tomorrow. So Tuesday's not a break day. It rains and get a couple inches of rain. Certainly in the North Bay, maybe an inch around the rest of the Bay Area. And then we get a break on Wednesday. Boom. Then we get into it Thursday with a less aggressive storm. So let's get started. This is what the National Weather Service says. Their models are saying, okay, we're going to get this much rain over the next 6 days. And again, all manageable. 2 to 3 inches of rain. Basically for Marin County, 2 to 3 inches of rain for the North Bay through that Tuesday, Thursday weather system period. Pardon a little dog. That's Frances, and she is awesome. But little dogs are funny, man. They're yappy. I know. But I'm working on the yappiness, but there's not much you can do, just let her yap. That could just be a car that drove by. Anyway, this is the rainfall footprint, which is very similar to what we've seen. And Southern California, you get in on this on Tuesday. So here is the National Weather Service page out of Monterey, covering the Bay Area. You got some wind issues. We're going to see some wind with Tuesday's storm, not unusual. We're going to see a winter storm warning go up in the mountains because snow levels are going to drop. We're going to see that green area representing rain, representing a flood watch, basically going, okay, at any time a heavy rain downpour is going to cause some pooling of water. And then, of course, on top of that is the wind advisory. My friends in LA, we haven't been talking much about you guys lately because without the, with the fires have ended for the most part, which is great. You have rain coming. Right now, that gray area represents down here. That represents some fog issues and air quality issues. There's fog along the coast, and it's a high pressure environment. That changes as we go into Tuesday night into Wednesday. So you guys get back into the rain too. We go to Tahoe. I'll see if I can make this fly for you. This is Palisades, and they got a bunch of rain up there right on the mountain. I mean, right now it's 35 degrees. This mid-morning in Tahoe. That's not very cold. That's going to change over, though, as this system comes in tonight and into tomorrow. And one of the concerns we're having, and this isn't to be alarmist, but it's just the facts. You've got a bunch of snow. They lost a bunch of snow from past down, right, because of all the rain. But you're going to get this ice layer, and you're going to get a bunch of 2.5, 3 feet of new snow next week or this week. And that's an instability layer. And so ice, snow, bad. That's a classic avalanche concern. So we'll keep our eyes on that. And of course, our friends up in the Palisades and up at North Star and all that, they know what they're doing. They do a great job blasting the cornices, and they know where their spots are. It's just, if you're a skier, and I am, snowboarder and all that, stay in bounds, man. Don't mess with it. I know it's tempting, but even you guys who are backcountry skiing, I know who you are and I know where you like to go. I would give it some room, especially this weekend, right? Okay, so here we are. This is right up at Donner Summit, and it's kind of dry, right? That you can see visually, we can see the difference between where the snow, how much snow has rained off. This is at the pass level. So that's unfortunate in terms of water concerns. Speaking of water, this is these are storm totals. And I go right to my friend Mount Tamalpais, which is middle peak came in at just under a foot of rain. Now that's over a bunch of days. And that is really, in Mill Valley, 3 inches of rain, 2 inches of rain at the Marin Civic Center. We go down to San Francisco, an inch of rain. This is really best case scenario for this kind of event, right? Because we all know what atmospheric rivers can do and how much more rain than that. I mean, it wouldn't have been hard in that time period for Mount Tam to do a couple feet of rain, believe it or not, instead of a foot. And a foot of rain is super manageable in terms of that watershed. So Petaluma, you came in at 2 inches. So you get the idea. I'll go up to Santa Rosa. Where are we at? Santa Rosa's got 4 inches. So that's significant rainfall. Some of the most rain that we've seen, I'll back it out, and you can see the colors. Let's just look at the colors. If you go up into the Feather River watershed, you're seeing 16 inches, right? This is what feeds Lake Oroville, which, by the way, is doing really well right now for rainfall. But you can see where the colors back off, and the rain was, again, favoring the north. So let's back down, let's go down a little bit further. And you can see the lighter colors represent that. So this is CNFRC on the links page, and you can pull up this page, and you go 24-hour rainfall totals, raws, raw data, and then you can go 24 hours, 48 hours, 70. You can go out pretty far and see how much rain we've gotten over the last thing. And so these are the storm totals essentially. Okay, so just give this picture of, sorry about the focus on that. There's California, there's the atmospheric river, and what's most obvious right now is the back edge, right? So we talked about the fuel. Whoops, when it updates, I think it clicks out. We talked about the fuel available and dynamics available. Well, we saw that wind advisory for tomorrow with this next storm. That tells you there's dynamics. And dynamics are going to bring in colder air, which is drier air. This is the yellow area, right? This is colder air. That's why the snow levels are going to drop. But it's still going to have access to this moisture. So the engine, the motor, the low, the dynamics, the vorticity, whatever you want to call it, is going to have access to this moisture, which is going to linger tonight and tomorrow. So Tuesday's weather system is going to have more pop than Thursday's weather system. Remember, we're talking basically, I mean, there's going to be a little drippy drip between these days, but Tuesday, Thursday, loving that. You got your break on what? You get your break today, you got your break Wednesday. Okay, let's look at the GFS, right? This is sea level pressure, lines close together. And you'll see one of the things you'll notice is those lines will get really close together as we go into tomorrow. And that means wind. That's where the wind's coming from. So here we are this morning. Here we are this afternoon. So you see it loading up and you see it tilting, right? You see that low, that kind of go more vertical. So now this is overnight. This is Tuesday morning early, and it's raining. So overnight tonight it rains. It rains all the way into down towards Pebble Beach, and then there's Tuesday morning. That's a good one. Lake Tahoe, the snow levels are still, where's the line? Snow levels are still a bit high, yeah, but they're going to come down rapidly as we translate through right here. So this is Tuesday midday. This is Tuesday afternoon. Look at that. That's aggressive stuff. And look at the lines. Can you see how close together the lines are? So there's your wind advisory. And then there's the fuel meeting the engine, right? When you see the lines close together, a lot of times most times you can assume that's the engine, right? Because there's a pressure gradient, there's changes. And then the green area representing rain also represents where the most moisture is going to be available to that engine. And then we go through. This is on Tuesday night late, and hello Wednesday morning. Chance to dry out, except in the Sierra, where it's going to stay windy and snowy pretty much Wednesday till afternoon. There's your Wednesday break, and then here comes Thursday. I'll back it up a little bit. There's Thursday mid-morning, and you see not as wet, right? The colors a little cooler. That's because you've got less moisture to work with because that dry air is coming in behind the low now, and then it kicks through. That's what the Thursday system's fine. It'll be good. It'll drop snow. It'll drop a little bit of rain. But the main event's this week is going to definitely be Tuesday. And then I keep going. We get a dry run. For a while there, the models were aggressive on stuff. So I'm just going into fantasy land now. And that's somewhere around the 18th of February if you want to, even consider that. This is the HRRR. We can time out. This is tomorrow. This afternoon. And you see it's dry over most of the Bay Area. And then as you get into, there's this afternoon, little rain showing up. So this is the overnight rain. This is late tonight. This is late tonight. And this is Tuesday morning right here. And you see that system translates through pretty quick on Tuesday, but then kind of re-up. So it's really overnight Monday into Tuesday, and there's more back here. That's HRRR, so it doesn't go out that far. But we can look at the next 24 hours. Let's go from 15Z. This is accumulation. So 15Z to 15Z Tuesday. So this is over the next 24 hours or so. And you can see a couple inches of rain in Mount Tam. So this essentially, let me go click one more for it. This essentially is going to be that Tuesday system. Okay. So this is Tuesday afternoon, right here, and this is Wednesday morning. So it basically Wednesday. That's the rainfall accumulation estimates, and that's the footprint that we've been seeing. That's going to put a drain. I know we're seeing a little bit of flooding up in Bidwell Park, up in Chico. We're seeing a little bit of flooding up on the Upper Sac. Just kind of like nuisance flooding. Nothing big. It's not even flooding. I shouldn't even say that. It's just water's getting high. Right, it's winter, it's California. But this footprint will add to that. So we might see some more flood advisories. The flood advisories are verifying, by the way, because flood advisories don't mean big river flooding. Flood advisories mean, hey, get ready. There might be a little standing water down at the Safeway where you park your car down on Lucky Drive, which is, it's flooding. So flooding can be a lot of things. And so there's your forecast for Tuesday rain. And again, I think Tuesday's got the chance to be the best rain producer. Okay, if you're still with me, and I hope you are, that's the forecast. Tuesday through Thursday. Today break, Tuesday rain, Wednesday break, Thursday rain, weekend break. It's awesome. It's how you want to get rain. Now we're looking at the national map. A lot of cold air spilling in. We showed that low coming in for us, but that's going to bring cold air into this region. So they're going to get a bunch of snow. They got winter storm warnings already up. We've got to see our winter storm warnings are hoisted already up in the Trinity Alps. So it's winter, and it's doing what it does. This is the forecast. Look at all the way to LA for tomorrow morning, tomorrow late afternoon, early evening. And some showers showing up down around Santa Barbara. That's great news. This is just a broad brush of what's happening. So if you're traveling to Seattle, Portland, SFO, maybe flight delays, maybe Reno, maybe Boise, but overall, flying around the country, not too bad right now. This is Lake Oroville. I grew up right here. I watched them fill this lake. It was awesome. I could tell you some stories. I will, because we're at the end of this. You don't have to hang out if you don't want to. But my dad used to fish on the West Branch. Is it West Branch? Yeah. No, the North Fork of the Feather. There's the West Branch, North Fork, and then the Feather. They're all part of the same drainage. And that's why they put the reservoir here, because it drains those rivers into it. But my dad used to fish on this, down in the river, right down below Paradise. They started filling it. I can't remember when. I remember when we watched them build the dam, but when they started filling it, okay, this is the story that's going to finally get good. I was probably 7, I guess, 8. It took years to fill it, right? They didn't just, because you're filling a whole canyon. I mean, picture that. Those are deep valleys. So as they filled it, every 6 months to a year, we'd start seeing more rattlesnakes in town. We'd start seeing bear in town. We'd start seeing mountain lions in town. We started seeing, because everything in that canyon had nowhere to go but up. And we were up kind of up on these ridge lines up in here. And so everything came out of the lake. And so for years prior to that, or after that, so water skiing became a big thing, but the lake was full of junk. I mean, think about this. We're Paradise dudes, so we're just clueless. But all the sticks, logs, debris, everything that was down in this thousands and thousands of square acre of remote forest began to float. The dead trees, the dead stumps, the whatever. And so we constantly, I'd say the first 10 years that lake was running, shear pins. You probably don't know what a shear pin is, but engines were we would blow a shear pin every time we went out almost, because you were hitting wood and logs. And not only that, you know how many rattlesnakes I've seen swimming? Way more than I care to even relate to you. Because in those first few years, there were snakes it's a canyon full of rattlesnakes and bear and mountain. It was crazy. It's hard to imagine that. It sounds like out of a movie. And the thing that was weird was it was a slow burn. It didn't happen like they start filling the dam. I just thought, okay, it's going to be, they're filling the reservoir. I thought it's just going to be there. It didn't do that. It was a slow drip. It was a slow drip, man. And this stuff started coming out. I'll have to think of some good stories there, because there was a lot of interesting things happen. But I remember the rattlesnakes, lots of rattlesnakes, lots of people getting bit by rattlesnakes. That was in the 60s. Okay, so this Ocean Beach got a little south wind on it. Swells are staying small for the most part. I think that's indicative of the lack of dynamics with this atmospheric river thus far. But this next system comes in. These lows are going to start generating some wind, and we'll see the swell come up. But for the most part, this is a small day at Steamer Lane. It's a small day everywhere. It's small in Southern California as well. Here is T Street in San Clemente, I believe. Yeah, San Clemente. And I'm just wondering why these kids aren't in school, or don't you have a job? Don't you have to work? I'm always amazed. The other thing that amazes me too about surfing, it's awesome, is I'm just joking with these dudes. They probably work, like I was a waiter, so I would surf during the day too, because I work nights. But what I love about surfing is it's so doesn't leave a footprint. It's like these guys, he takes off on a wave and it erases itself. Like he's non-existent on that wave. It's not like when you ski, you leave a track. So even when you mountain bike, you leave a track. When you surf, you don't leave any tracks. It's just, and it's fun for no money. Essentially, well, it is fun. I'll say that. Okay, so that's a lot. I know. If you hung on, if you hung on this long, I would like to know why. I would like to, and I not because I don't think I'm engaging, but because I'm just like, okay, because I'm not. This is YouTube things I'll do, but I'd like to know why. So if you are here right now, drop me a line and go, I'm here because I hate you. I'm here because I love you. I'm here because I like to see surf videos. I'm here, Ryan, just because I'm still here because I'm here. I still have coffee left. All right, a little chatty, but you got that right. Tuesday, Thursday. See you back here.